It's go time.
They're back. They're back. They're back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. I'm doing this just like the circus because it's a freaking circus around my house right now.
Trying to figure out a new show.
Yes. Welcome to the Squared Circle Maniacs Pro Wrestling Podcast right here on the Squared Circle Maniacs YouTube channel. My name is Johnny Bottles. To my left is Dr. Don Wade, the neckbeard psychologist. You know him from Twitter. You know him from one of his greatest hits, You Kiss Your Mother with That Mouth. And the other one is, I bet when you get up off the sofa after Dynamite's over, you're carrying a sofa cushion between your cheeks to the bathroom.
What a day, pal.
What a day, Don. What a day. I'm outside here at Bottles Bungalow, soaking in the sun, drinking a couple of drinks, and we're right here.
Thanks, everybody, for watching. We appreciate it. We're working on some formats of the show. We've been monetized, so we're trying to figure it out, so we're going to go from here. I don't know how it works. I think we're going to try to run the show like normal until we get this sorted out. What do you say, Bottles?
I think so, too. We'll try to figure this thing out. I know that you can ask questions. You can now to ask questions, you have to throw a little dinero in the kitty.
We ain't trying to get rich. We're just trying to pay.
We're not trying to get rich. Here's the deal with our channel, and a lot of these YouTube channels operate the same way. They use a proprietary software that a company owns. The one we go through is StreamYard, and what I'll do right now is I will put up the StreamYard logo. There he is, right up there, the old duck in the corner with a dollar sign. Where's that? An S? It looks like a dollar sign and an S together. Powered by StreamYard. You see that a lot on a lot of these videos. Some people publicize it, and some people don't. We don't like to publicize it.
They pay me nothing.
But we do pay out of our own pockets for the graphics and putting these things together. I put the graphics together, and the hosting software that StreamYard has, which allows us to do what we're doing right here. We could have 10 people on the screen right now if we wanted to. If we gave them we set them a StreamYard link and they had the capacity for a camera to transmit their video. Anyway, with that going on, with that being said, that costs money per month. It costs money to do what we're doing right now. We've been paying it out of our own pockets. And, all charitable donations, folks, will be accepted going forward. To see your comment up on the screen, it's going to cost you a few bucks, maybe a dollar in this trying time of the Joe Biden economy.
But we're trying to figure it out, so we'll go from here. It's just
it can be a tough road to hoe, right?
Let's get into this shit. What the hell was that?
Oh! And you can have emojis right there by your by your name, and I
got an emoji.
You can buy super stickers. I got an emoji for that show last night, Don.
We got to get into this because it just dropped. The biggest thing that has happened has finally happened. They couldn't even bust the 800 marker. Like, not even close. Not even close.
Well, if you recall, 2 weeks ago when she debuted, it was only 779.
Yeah, I know.
They had 800,000, and they had to drop it down.
It won't.
This is even worse.
This is, I don't know if you guys have seen it yet or not, but the numbers are in. And what was it again? 747, 743.
747, Don. 747,000. 747. It went down like a 747. Shot out of the sky by a
went down like a
missile.
$2 hooker. That's what it went down like. It is it's bad, and I'm looking at the quarter hours now just to give you a quick breakdown. It's a breakdown. That's what it was. It's a beatdown is what it is. 747,000 people watched this abysmal piece of shit clown car of a show. It was as bad as I thought it was now that the numbers are out. They started off with their big bang 939 and immediately dropped 137,000 people. Immediately. You can put it up on the screen if you want to, Bottles, while we're going through this real quick.
Sounds good to me.
130. And it gets worse because we're going to talk about these matches because it was so bad that it's embarrassing to me as a fan. Hey, we got our first donation. Look at that. Miles, you see it?
No, what was it? Let me take a look.
Joe Williams.
Oh, there's Joe.
No questions, and he's got it up there. Thanks, Joe. We appreciate it, pal. That's love to see it, man. We're just trying to pay for this damn channel. Swear to God. They ain't trying to make no damn money off of this. 711,000 people were watching this at the bottom of the hour, pretty close to the bottom of the hour when this thing fell out. And that was with Okada finishing up. He had a 25-minute match. Let's talk about this first match. You just want to go through the numbers real quick.
Let's talk about the first match. We'll go through the numbers and the quarter hours as we go over the matches. How's that?
That's fine. Ospreay led off the match. He's their big new star, right? He's their big new star.
And you said last week that he actually showed you something.
He did. His promo was great.
A lot of fire. It seems like it was all ad lib. He made it up as he went along. Maybe he had a bullet point or two. And what did I say? I said, just wait until you actually see him wrestle again, where it will be a shit fest of no selling and flippy dippy moves, landing on your head and getting right back up again and having at it, which is what we got last night from a man that Dave Meltzer claims had his brain taken out and put back in again because he had such a severe head injury. Katsumi, cat litter, Shibata. He'll be known as Shibata for the rest of the show.
I want you to get into this. So they come out, and the crowd knows Ospreay's chance, right? Like they know his whole in-ring thing. He goes from one side, they yell Ospreay. These fans know what this guy's going to do. I'm still learning who this guy is. I haven't had a lot of introductions to him. And out comes Shibata. And I'm thinking, all right, maybe they're going to give me what I hope it is a 10-minute match where you put Ospreay over as a dominant wrestler. That's what I'm wanting to see in this, right? That's how you get a guy over. He doesn't need to have a half-hour marathon. No, I got Shibata kicking the shit out of Ospreay for 20 minutes of this match with Ospreay hitting like one big finisher at the end of this whole damn thing and winning the match. I wrote awful. Shibata sold nothing. Like I had to take notes on this shit. Shibata sold nothing. They went to the floor multiple times. Mm-hmm. He sold none of the elbows that he hit him with. It was a complete joke. This is why when they brought out Ospreay, I had high hopes because I heard he's a great wrestler. He does the same stuff. He does the same shit all these other guys do. He does the flippy moves. He gets no sold, and they do the same shit over and over again. Elbows, elbows, elbows. Shibata doesn't sell. He wins the match in the end. It was absolutely abysmal. Everything about this is why they did the number they did. The fans jumped off the cliff after this. After this match was over, they lost almost 100,000 fans. They went from 802 to 711. 99,000 people said, or 89,000 said I'm out.
It started with 939, and it dropped down to 802 by 8:15. And that match was just about ending when they ran the Bryan Danielson video, and from 8:15 to 8:30. So you can say that Shibata and Ospreay lost 137,000 viewers from the opening of that show. It's worse if you look at it in that respect. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. Shibata's got one facial expression. That's it. He looks like a Japanese Charles Bronson. That's what he looks like.
And then they did the Danielson moment, the 2021 return. The guy hasn't won a match in how long now? He got the shit beat out of him by the garbage man who just lost his belt to the brand new guy, Okada, that they brought in. Am I wrong?
Right.
The guy that Danielson put over lost. The garbage man lost to the other new star. Tony Khan literally he's got his new favorite toy. He's got his new favorite toy every month. He buys all of his favorite toys, throws them in a match, and doesn't give a shit about the story or how he introduces them. He just assumes that everybody on God's green earth watches every match that's ever been unfold in New Japan, TNA, ECW, WWF, WCW, AEW. He assumes everybody knows every one of these matches, and we should all do the same. I have a life, asshole. I got stuff outside of this. This is what I enjoy watching, but I don't know these guys are running in here.
Pal, take a deep breath.
All right.
We're monetized now, pal. Ixnay on the asshole, A. Okay?
Screw that, A. I'm going to be me, A.
All I could say is, look, and by the way, to finish the Danielson video out, they came back with the Young Bucks backstage promo. Just what you need. Just what you need when you eat a shit sandwich. You need to wash it down with a nice glass of urine.
That's what I wrote about the Young Bucks moment. These guys suck and bore me. Nothing about anything they're doing makes me believe that they're a badass couple of CEO wrestlers. The Rock is a badass CEO wrestler. We're going to get into that later. We're going to talk about Raw and the F-bomb that they got off TV, which makes me wonder why the hell AEW can't do the same. They didn't get in trouble for it. They had it muted right in time. They knew it was coming. They got that 5-second delay or 8-second delay. Why don't they have it the same channel? Anyway, the Young Bucks had a match yet. Next, correct?
Yes, they did. Well, you had the ad break. Then he came back from commercial with their new one of the other new toys, Katsushika Okada, getting out of his car in a nice blue suit, looking like Troy Donahue. That's a name from the past, folks.
The chat. And I'm sorry,
throwing his belt over his shoulder, his brand new belt, and strolling somewhere. We never saw him for the rest of the show.
No, what the hell was that?
He was probably going to the 7-Eleven to punch in. I don't know.
They had a match. It was awful. I didn't care. The crowd. Did you notice the crowd was deathly silent? You could hear a pin drop in that building, man. And then one of the Young Bucks, I don't care which one, goes to give the final move and falls on his face and then gets up and tries to correct it because they're out there in slippers looking like
the V-trigger. Yes.
Yeah. It's a V something, all right, pal.
Maybe Pillow Nightingale urinated in the ring prior to that. He slipped it. Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows?
Did you see him try to get up and finish it anyway? And the guy was holding on like, oh, shit.
If Dumb and Dumber had a wrestling sequel where they became professional wrestlers, that's what the Young Bucks would be. With the blue and orange pastel suits or whatever the F they had on last night. It was tremendously awful. Tremendously awful. I could not believe what I was seeing, and neither could the viewers because it went down to 711,000 viewers.
It went back up to 776 though when they did the Swerve Strickland, Konosuke Takeshita video, the ad
very good
Darby Allin video. I tried.
You navigated that name working, very well.
Yes, I'm really trying. And I took more notes. Don Callis shit. That's all I can call it anymore. It's just horrible with this guy. He's a joke. He's a heel manager in a face stable. It makes no sense. None of it makes any sense to me as a fan. None of it. The Jericho interview was next, correct? After all this shit.
Yes, Jericho and Hook backstage with what was obviously Renee Paquette, whatever her name is, Moxley Young or whatever you want to call her.
His interview skills. Did you see this dead fish look that he had and his way of delivering when he talked to Jericho?
Hook, yes.
Yeah, it's like a dead fish.
I don't understand, and this goes back to the writing of this show, is Jericho wants to be the mentor to Hook. He showed him what he had last week when he beat him, and he wants to be his mentor. I guess I almost called it WCW.
Jesus,
AEW,
dude.
Freudian slip. AEW is running a Big Brother program backstage, and Chris Jericho is the head. He's Father Chris, and he's helping people master the art of professional wrestling. And
who is this helping, man? He just leeches on to the next guy that's coming up.
Hook's father is Taz.
I know.
Taz, former Intercontinental Champion, WWE, former ECW Champion, former FTW Champion in ECW, former Tag Team Champ.
I get all that, but
Taz,
you can't.
Why does Jericho have to mentor? If I was waiting for Hook to say, "Hey, it's all well and good, Chris, we're good," but my father is Taz, so you can keep your mentorship. I'll see you. And he could have walked off and left Jericho hanging. Jericho had for the fist bump. He could have left him hanging and said that, and that would have been it. That would have been a better moment than agreeing to be Jericho's little buddy. His
lackey. He's going to be his next lackey. Is going to be his lackey. Here's the thing, though, right? Jericho had a big on Jericho lately.
Hello. What was that again?
Yeah, I said.
Hey, there's Don. Don's back.
Jericho cut a good promo on this show. I thought it was a decent promo for what he did. The tone was right, the attitude was right, everything he did was right. Right? Like he delivered what he was supposed to do. And then Bottles goes dead fish. I mean, not Bottles, but Hook. Hook goes dead fish with his dead. It was horrible, man. I'm not going to draw on this.
Going dead fish.
I recorded and put on Twitter. I was like, this is god awful. This is god awful. Monet comes out next.
I like that pun, though. Hook, dead fish. I like that.
Try it.
You're a wordsmith, pal.
I was wondering if you were to catch that. You're
a freaking wordsmith.
Monet comes out and then gets on the mic. And Johnny Bottles is moving again. He's just all over the map.
I like being on this side, pal. I like being on the side. Because when you talk to your camera, you're looking this way. And I like to feel like I'm like right there.
Monet came out and got on the mic and you thought she was awesome. So I want to hear why you thought she was so good.
You son of a bitch. She sounded like a schoolgirl giving some sort of book report, oral book report in class. That's what she sounded like. She sounded terrible. Horrible. You son of a bitch.
It's your internet because you're outside. I'm telling you, pal. I'm telling you. It's got
is that what it is, Don?
Yeah, I'm telling you. It's telling
you
to
go
go
Bottles
back.
Bungalow. Maybe I need to put a router out here at the Bottles Bungalow.
Well, at least we know the background's not at work this time.
No, it's not at work at all.
What was working me was Monet on the mic. She was working my nerves.
Horrible. This is why she didn't talk in WWE, Don. They kept their mouths shut in WWE. They knew what her strong suit was, which was wrestling. And her strong suits, she's never going to be the female Rock, Don. She thinks she is, but she's not going to be the female Rock.
She really does think that's how over she is. And that's what drives me crazy about her, is that she thinks she's a genuine star and everybody's going to tune in to see her. Again, 747,000 people. And when this shit was over, they had the Dustin Rhodes segment. Dustin Rhodes and the Butcher had a promo that looked like two grown men that had an issue to work out. It was fantastic. And I've never been the biggest Dustin Rhodes fan, but this was absolutely fan-friggin-tastic. All the way around, it looked like two grown men that were going to have a fight. They took me in.
A match that's interesting. It's interesting.
Yes.
It hooked you in. It hooked me in. And it's going to be a Rampage.
Dare I say we have to watch Rampage now?
Of course not. Are you kidding me? Good Lord Almighty. I refuse to watch Rampage.
All right.
I don't know why they couldn't put that match on this show. If you were to put Dustin Rhodes versus the Butcher on this show instead of the Undisputed Kingdom and the Best Friends, you would have garnered more than 654,000 viewers for that segment. Dustin Rhodes, even though he's 55 years old, like he said in the video.
He said.
When's the last time he's won a match? You don't know.
No, hell no.
Don't know. He's got that weird red Darby Allin-esque makeup on his face. And the Butcher came in looking like a real man. Apparently they're doing some kind of bad smell gimmick with the Butcher.
Yeah,
because
but that
Dustin
was funny.
Was like this.
That made me laugh. He said it's got its own musk, I think is what he said.
It's my mustache. It's got its own musk.
That was pretty good, man. That got me to pop. I was like, that's pretty good.
But and that's a match where you don't know who's going to win because both guys in this company are basically jobbers. They're jobbers to the stars. The Butcher's a jobber. When's the last time he's won a match?
Well, they're both
and
jobbers.
Dustin Rhodes has never won a match. They're both
He's
jobbers.
a jobber. So where the hell does this go? I have no idea where this goes.
It's when you watch these shows, and everybody in the chat room, listen to what I'm saying. When you see on Twitter the promo cards that they put on Twitter, AEW Dynamite, AEW on TBS or whatever, and they run the colorful ad, which has all the matches listed, every week you can say, he's going to win, he's going to win, she's going to win, he's going to win, he's going to win. You know right away who's going to be the winners of these matches. You think Shibata was beating Ospreay?
Not a chance.
Not a chance. Do you think in a match with Willow Nightingale and Anna Jay and Sky Blue and Chris Statlander. You think that Willow, who's being pushed now, was going to lose because she's got an issue with Mercedes Moné?
They got him, yeah,
because of the broken ankle from Japan. Of course, she's going to win. Did you think the Young Bucks were going to lose?
Can I chime in?
I guess Private Party. Go ahead.
The one thing they're doing right with Mercedes Moné is the exact thing they're doing wrong with Ospreay. They're throwing his ass in matches that they're giving away for free on TV. Right, they're actually building Mercedes Moné's first big debut match as something special. They just chucked Ospreay out there left and right as soon as he got on the TV, which is insane to me. You don't. Let me ask something, Bottles. Has The Rock had a match yet? Has the Rock had a match? No,
not at all.
This was your first. We just saw him have his first big physical contact since he's been back, right?
Right. In the cold and the rain of Chicago.
And we're going to talk about that.
We'll
I can't
talk
wait
about that later.
My God in heaven. But at least they're doing that right with Mercedes Moné. I'll give them credit for that. Everyone else, though, it's like an action figure. Can I put this guy in the ring and this guy at the ring at the same time? I can't wait to watch. I'm 10 years old again. It's just absurd to me. It's absurd.
We could talk about how this show should have been booked if you want. If you want to bring Will Ospreay out right away, have him wrestle Trent Beretta in a good 5-minute match. Put Trent Beretta away, crush his ass. Will Ospreay's a tough son of a bitch. No one runs in. There's no people coming in at the end of the match to point and say, you son of a bitch, blah, blah, blah. None of that. And you have Ospreay cut a promo in the ring again with Wheezy Shivani and talk about how happy he is to be there at AEW. He loves everybody.
No, I wouldn't have him say that. I'd have him say, I'm here to kick your ass. I'm coming for you, Danielson. I'm coming for you.
He could. He could have done that also. He could have said that also.
They could have done this a lot of different ways. A 25-minute competitive match against a guy that doesn't mean shit in this company makes no sense to me. And like I said, at least I don't want to go back in time. I want to move forward if we can.
You could have Takeshita and Shibata have a match together. A good 15-minute match, and all the cage match guys could have had fully turgid. They could have been fully turgid throughout the entire thing.
We got to talk about the cage match.
This was just so fantastic. This is great.
We got to talk about cage match.
Come on, let's do it. What we got next, pal?
Oh, yeah. Then out came Orange Cassidy, and I said, F this shit, I'm out. I'm not coming back. I'm not watching this guy. I left after this. I said, nope, I'm out. I'm not doing this anymore. You're not going to subject me to this guy anymore. I'm over this dude. He's a clown. I have no use for him in a wrestling ring. I have no respect for his skills or how he acts on a mic or the pocket thing or the fake kicks. All of it just pisses me off. I'm out.
Pal, I fell asleep. Of course, it could have been the weed and the beer, but I fell asleep during this match. I blame it on Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta, who, when's the last time Trent Beretta won a match? Oh, he won it that night.
That night. Because they're not going to get rid of his favorite guy. I'm not going to miss.
The Kingdom and Matt Taven and Mike Bennett, the Kingdom, are jobbers to the Stars. That's exactly who they are. They gave them the ROH Tag Team Championships because why not? Right?
Then they had the Adam Copeland thing, Swerve Strickland versus Takeshita, and then that was over, and you knew how that was going to end. And that was it.
Well, it went to 658,000 people, which was up from the Orange Cassidy, Matt Taven, and Mike Bennett match. It was up to 658,000. And with the overrun, it was 724,000.
And that's people tuning in to see what's coming on next.
Where's Modern Family at? Where's Sofia Vergara?
Why
that guy's not Sofia Vergara. You've got Samoa Joe. You've got Samoa Joe, who is the only guy that pops a rating now in AEW. You put him on for a backstage promo when the show goes off the air. And what happens? It goes up to 724,000. That man should be in the 9 o'clock hour every week.
He should.
To keep viewers there. Halfway through. Or have a match. Beat up a job.
Hold on. Okay, I was going to say, if you're going to have him in a match, don't have him in something competitive. Make the fan base pay for the pay-per-view, for the privilege of watching a guy like that in an actual wrestling environment in a competitive match. Instead, they throw this shit on every week.
Don, how would you book this show? What would you do? Look at the first match. What would you do? Look at the card.
It's too late. No, it's too late.
What would you do?
I've I'd have gone back to Raw and talked about that because at least that was entertaining as hell.
How can one company? How can one company? I can't read this chat. Beer man, you son of a gun.
I'm done with
How
that.
can one company be, with all that talent, be heading in a nosedive, and the other company is got a rocket up its ass?
That's putting it mildly, pal. Because wrestling is booming right now. It's at a boom again. It's taken off. They're doing huge numbers.
Well, numbers for the streaming world that we live in right now.
No, I mean the actual ratings, man.
No, I mean ratings-wise, because streaming has changed everything. Back in the Attitude Era, when they were pulling 8 million, 9 million people a show, and for viewing WCW and WWF at the time, all that was going on back then, and now with the streaming and the DVRs and things of that nature, it really cut into it. And so we're down 2 million, 2.5 million. 3 million's phenomenal. 3 million is like the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow.
I don't think we've seen 3 million in a while, man. It's been years since I've seen 3 million. However, do you have the Raw ratings by chance? Because I wanted to get into that next.
I can find it for you.
Because there were a few parts on this Raw show. Well, look, let's talk about SmackDown first, right? SmackDown's ratings showed just what it was. And I'm here to call it out when I see it. SmackDown was about as dull as it can get. SmackDown. It was
a little blase.
The whole show revolved around when Cody Rhodes met up with Roman Reigns. That's what the whole show was them having their face off. That was it, man. I mean, that was it. And when they had their face off, that's what happened. Hey, I'm here. You really came alone. That's why you're a fool. All this other shit. He backs up, and out comes all of his people, all of Roman Reigns folks. And then here comes all of Cody Rhodes' friends. So he didn't come alone like he said because he didn't trust him. So, whatever. I wasn't impressed with SmackDown. The other big part about SmackDown was Dominic Mysterio and his father, Rey Mysterio, apparently are going to keep going at it. Like they're either in a feud or he's going to be involved in some sort of a tag team, I think, or something's going to come from that.
You know why I think it was the last? You know why I think it was the last minute thing? I think it was all predicated on the healing of Rey's name, whether he felt good enough to come back. That's a big if right there. I want to do something with Dom, but I don't know whether we're going to be good enough to come back for a WrestleMania match. And apparently he is, because they're going to work it in. Probably you're going to see Legado del Fantasma with Dominic Mysterio versus the LWO with some combination of those guys. Yeah. And not Cruz del Toro. I forgot what the other guy's name is. That kid, he used to be DJ something in Impact. Whatever his name is.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. That move he does where he makes a flying leap and his feet hit the top rope and he launches himself 30 feet through the air onto a pat. You haven't seen this yet, have you?
Yeah, and then he lands on a Hardy Boy's head.
That's Sammy Guevara, pal. That's Sammy Guevara.
Yeah, I've seen it. He jumps off the rope, and there's a Hardy leg there to catch him with his face.
No, not like that at all.
And then his brother comes in the ring.
4 guys
are
outside.
Damn it, again? What is y'all's problem? Quick, landing on Matt John's face.
And then his wife is calling Triple H. My husband doesn't even work for your company.
You don't even have a job here. What's your problem, pal?
What is going on?
Zema Eon, he says. Or Ion.
Zema Ion, yes. He was a kid when he was like 10 or 15 years old, in between that area. They had a contest at Ring of Honor back in the mid-2000s for a new logo. They wanted fans to send in their designs for the new logo, and that guy sent his design in, and they took it, and they paid him off for it. I think he got like $2,000, $3,000 for it. So for the Ring of Honor logo, he's the one who designed it. And everybody still awake? Okay. Go ahead.
We ready to talk about this?
I want to know how Beer Man knew Zema Ion was the guy's name. That's what
because he's the man. He's the man. He owed this for the table spot that we got into this.
To the Beer Man. You started all that shit, Beer Man.
Raw did 1.72 million, but that's not the big deal. And Cody Rhodes had a really good promo, I thought. Cody Rhodes had a good promo early in the match. The Rock came out, and this is one of the points I want to talk about, right? Because if you notice, there were some folks booing Cody Rhodes. And that's what we talked about last week, is that The Rock's getting over his heel so much that the fans are starting to cheer him. So he had to do something to get the fans pissed off at him again. Follow me?
That's right.
What is the one thing The Rock could do to piss the fans off so much that they'd start booing the shit out of him again?
Beat up Cody Rhodes.
No.
What?
Not talk when he got in the ring to the fans.
Oh, yes.
The Rock got in the ring, refused to say a word, and the fans were mad as hell. I mean, they were livid after that. And I think that part of the show, I don't remember what the quarterly hours were. I don't have it in front of me. I just remember the one quarterly hour because it's important. They're in Chicago.
If you like to know what the quarter hours were, I got to.
Well, what was it for that segment specifically? The Rock Cody Rhodes segment, if you will, Johnny Bombs.
I'm looking for it right now, pal, because they've got a lot jammed into all of this.
All right. I'm going to go on to CM Punk while you look this up.
Hang on, buddy. I got the wrong date.
Well, I'm going to keep going then. CM Punk, they're in Chicago, and the CM Punk segment you knew was going to be fire. You knew he was going to be lit. The CM Punk,
old friend. I got him now.
What were they for that segment? Specifically that
segment wasn't as much as you think it was.
It's 1.75, right?
1.74.
Okay. I thought it was
that was not the peak. That was not the peak.
I'm getting to that. I'm getting to that.
Yeah, go
Cody
ahead.
Rhodes came out to CM Punk chants. Punk says he had a lot to say and a lot of business to conduct. He'll be at Mania. He makes a weird sex joke because he says his mouth can work, which was kind of weird. Like, did you catch that? Like, bro, I don't need to hear that. What the hell are you doing, man?
Very weird.
Yeah, it's just a weird joke to me. But anyway, he teases being a WrestleMania gig. And then he plugged 2 podcasts that I was actually surprised that he did. And neither one of them were us. You son of a bitch. We're the little man trying to get by here. CM Punk, give us a plug. Cornette gets plenty of money. We're the low man
with a
Stop. No. Plugs those shows.
What do you think about UFO? You believe in UFOs, Don?
Stop. He says The Rock has not
mentioned making obscure references.
Making
obscure references to where we came from.
We're moving on.
The channel that we came from.
Cody,
they thought we wouldn't make it.
You're killing me. Punk said everybody's got something to say about him in this business. Everybody in this company's got something to say about him except for one guy, The Rock. Right. So I don't know if that was like a callback to where he had to put him over at Mania all those years ago and he's looking for maybe he wants to get one back from The Rock eventually. It would make sense to me to eventually have that. I'd like to see that match. You know, I think they could put something on, but I don't think that's ever going to happen. And then Drew comes out. And I don't know if this was segmented or what, but he gets all over this shit and says, cut the music right now. Cut his music. Nobody wants to hear that garbage. And I don't know if it was because Drew was having a hard time or if he was being deliberate in his delivery, but CM Punk suddenly starts just cutting him off mid-sentence. Did you notice this?
Yeah.
Like he was like, boo this guy. It's just weird. Did you catch any of this?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about that? I
thought that this is not a scripted promo. This is all ad lib. They gave these guys bullet points. It's like the old days. It's like the old days of professional wrestling. They're making it up as they go along, but they got bullet points to guide them through to the end point of what this is. They want. He's trying to get a heel reaction for McIntyre. He was told, from what I gathered, backstage scuttlebutt, he was told to try to get Drew to go into the ring. That's your whole impetus for this whole segment. You try to get him into the ring, into a confrontation physically with you. And Drew wouldn't do it.
Which I didn't get that. It kept happening, but it sort of made Drew look like a punk to me. I wasn't a real big fan of this. There were a couple of parts that got me though with Drew. When he said, I'm not getting in that ring. I know what Chicago people are like. You're liable to have a weapon in there. So that kind of popped me. And then when Drew sat up on the table and he said, don't look up my kill it, you pervert.
That's the second time he said that on WWE TV.
That one got me. I had a pretty good pop on that one. And then, look, this was kind of tongue in cheek, but Drew McIntyre says, I'm the chosen one. And CM Punk said, who chose you? And you know what that's a reference to. There's no way, it's not obscure. That's a direct shot at Vince McMahon's booking. That's a direct shot at his chosen guys.
Did you
That's
know
exactly
that
what that was.
Endeavor has told them, TKO Sports Endeavor has told them, you do not mention that man's name on the air at all. So when that was said, everybody on gorilla position was going, uh-oh.
Yeah,
and Drew, he did not mention the name.
I thought it was pretty cool. Drew said he wants to be the guest commentator. I don't want to roll on with this forever. Rollins comes out. They get face-to-face. They have a standoff. It gets really weird. It was a good episode. I thought this was a good segment on the show. This was entertaining. When Punk walked back like he was leaving, and when Drew got up and said, cut his music, you're not in the WrestleMania match. You don't get to have the last word. I thought that was awesome. I thought that was amazing. And then he got the shit kicked out of him right to the face. And while this is all happening, CM Punk was walking away and then suddenly comes back. I was like, all right, I think this was supposed to happen. It was compelling television. I enjoyed it.
I got to ask you, how does a man as big as McIntyre fly through the air and put his foot so close to your head where it looks like he's knocked you out without hurting you?
I think he connects some of them, pal. I don't think they're all. I think there's a few potatoes along the way somewhere. That shit's not getting delivered.
A few Idaho spuds coming their way.
That shit's not coming in ad free. You're taking a shot on that. There's no picture in picture. You're getting that one, pal. Some of them shits you're getting.
It's not coming in ad free.
We now go to picture. God damn. So I thought that was a great segment. There was some other parts of this. The women's match I was enthralled with.
The highest rated segment.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for bringing it back. What was
2.2.
Wow.
2.2 million. Watch that show. Well, I mean, watch that segment.
2.2 million people watched this segment. And it wasn't a short segment. And by the way, I think that's the average. That's impressive. I don't give a shit who you are. One company's popping 2.2 as they're leaving the network to go to Netflix. The other one is trying to get a new contract and is floundering at 747 like a fish out of water. This is Boeing. The door flew off in mid-flight.
They hit 2.2. They hit because it was a 747, pal.
Unbelievable. Becky and Ripley had their moment.
AEW was a 747. The door flew off in mid-flight. The Rock was not in that segment whatsoever, and they had the highest quarter.
So we talked about this previously with AEW and the fan pool that CM Punk had when they were popping $1 million. $1 million. They did have their first $1 million home with them, but he was popping $1 million on the ratings routinely when he first came in.
Or Dynamite, yes.
Yes. There is a segment, and we've discussed this on the show, of about 250 to 300,000 CM Punk only fans that will tune in to watch that guy take a piss off his back porch if they filmed it. They just love the guy. He is that over with that audience. He has that fan base. They love his fan base.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Good on the mic. He's he's a what? Was he 43, 44, 43-year-old man?
45.
The subject, he's steroid free. He's HGH free. He's subject to a lot of injuries.
Maybe it's time to look at one of those.
What do you mean?
Dude, HGH could be a friendly drug. I'm just saying. Barry Bonds hit a lot of home runs. Just saying. Becky and Ripley had a segment. Dominic was the most entertaining part about this. I know Becky Lynch has her fans, but for me, her on the mic right now just doesn't do it for me. She's been around forever, it seems to me. I'm not really catching on. Love Rhea Ripley, right? But this isn't meshing for me. Her and Charlotte, when they got into it, they got into arguments. That connected with me as a fan. This ain't connected.
It doesn't connect. It doesn't connect. And I felt that too when I watched this segment because they kept them apart for so long. Because Nia Jax was the Titanic sinking iceberg in the middle of the whole thing. Nia Jax was wedged in there, and then you had Becky here and Rhea over here, and you had Nia Jax eating a big rotisserie chicken in her hand like it was an apple.
Stop.
Just waiting to possibly get added to this championship match. And it didn't happen. A lot of people say that Liv Morgan should be added to this championship match. For what reason? I don't know.
No,
I don't know.
No.
Not a chance. It's not going to happen.
No. Nor should she, for that matter.
Nor should she. A woman who can't get out of her own way in the ring. But looks good doing it.
Then it came down to the Rock segment against Cody Rhodes. And this is what we've all been waiting for, fans. The Rock got physical. And I took notes on this.
Well, you ignored the Sami Zayn thing.
No, I'm not ignoring.
You ignored Dominic Mysterio getting dropped like a sack of shit.
I'm not. Look. Oh, by the way, Sami Zayn, he busted what's his name open, right? Did you see that? He was bleeding out of his nose pretty bad. He had busted his ass open pretty good. When he hit that splash, bro, I don't think there was a whole lot of knees stopping that from happening. It looked like he got his ass pretty good. Like, I was just saying, talk about a potato. Here comes the spud, pal, incoming. You can call my ass Idaho from now on.
Let me ask you this question, Don. Do you think Chad Gable will be added to that championship match?
No,
the Intercontinental Championship match.
I think Chad Gable's going to turn on Sami Zayn, and that's my fear. And he's going to set up a feud with him after Mania. It's Chad Gable's time. We talked about this, a few shows ago. Chad Gable's the guy that they pushed to the moon. They didn't push to the moon, but they gave him matches. The fans got behind him. His promo skills got better. His in-ring work got better. The chat is killing me right now. The in-ring work got better and better. But it's just now it's another one of those moments where you wonder if it's a Triple H's decision. Like, is this not your guy? Why are you not giving this guy? He's earned this opportunity, man. The fans are behind this guy.
We can't put this on the screen, but I'm going to read this out loud. Just a few words from the chat. It's something you never hear when a guy saying to a woman, "Nice gut, though."
Let's talk about the Rock.
Gotta love
it's time to rock. It's time to rock. Talk about the Rock. Cody Rhodes is holding off the fight at the end. There was going to be a run-in by the.
Well, it was Shinsuke versus Jay.
Yeah, and Jimmy was coming in to ruin
Solo
the whole
was
thing.
coming in,
and Solo. And out came Seth, and out came Cody, and Cody's in the back fighting one of the Bloodline members. And The Rock comes out and promptly beats the shit out of him. We got trash cans flying. We got wrenches getting thrown. We got toolboxes getting chucked. We got guardrails getting taken out. We're outside in the rain. And I think that
toolbox shot hurt him.
Yeah,
because he was like... He was moving the pliers and the channel locks.
I was like, what the hell,
Jesus Christ. Come on, take it easy.
That's a real toolbox, man.
Right.
What the hell?
That's not gimmicked, Bubba.
He beat Cody Rhodes to a bloody mess backstage. It was just, and by the way, AEW fans, it's not that, WWE, as fans, we don't like blood. It's just so much better when you use it in the right spot. When
it's not flying all over the place in every match. It desensitizes you to the actual blood. Blood should be the exclamation point for an angle.
Yes, it should be the heightened, like, oh my God, this guy's a bloody mess. Can he win? I just want to quote some of the shit The Rock said.
Don, I have to say, you son of a bitch, you're always right when it comes to this kind of stuff.
I know. I love it. The Rock said...
The neckbeards don't, though.
I know. Oh, they hate me. He said, look at this. Look at this. He calls the fans of Chicago pieces of shit that they beeped out. I had to watch it twice. He dropped an F-bomb that they had to beep out. He kept screaming at him, come on, boy. Come on,
Look at you, boy. Look at you, boy.
Look at you, boy. Look at you now. Look at you now. He kept saying that over and over again. And for anybody that watched old school wrestling, I don't care if it was the 80s or 90s, especially Southern wrestling. This was very Memphis flavored. This was very Mid-South Western flavored. This was all of that Southern wrestling, and The Rock pulled it off. And by the way, for anybody that didn't see that stuff, that's it.
Phenomenal.
And he's sitting there screaming, look at your son, Bubba Rhodes, yeah. And then he whips out the belt. after he has beaten him to a bloody mess, he pulls the belt out and smears it on there, and he's going to give it to her at WrestleMania just like he said he would.
What did that belt say?
Mama Rhodes. The belt said Mama Rhodes.
And had a Brahma bull, the Rock's tattoo in the middle between Mama and Rhodes. He smeared Cody's blood on that weight belt.
He when he talked to the fans, he said, "Y'all are upset. The Rock said nothing. Look at you now. Look at you now." It was phenomenal. I'm hyped for WrestleMania. They said that The Rock would be on Raw next week. I'm on vacation next week. I can't wait for that shit. I am stoked. I'm stoked.
The cold, the rain was coming down. The drizzle was coming down. It was cold out there. Cody's got his shirt ripped off in shreds. The Rock has got the rainwater and the sweat running down his bald head, and leaning into the camera, talking to Mama Rhodes and the fans. And you could see in his respiration, you can see the cold, the condensation coming out through his mouth from the cold air. So it was probably in the 40s.
I don't give a shit what it was. The ratings were in the millions.
It was fantastic.
The ratings were in the millions.
Oh, I'm talking about the temperature. I'm not talking about the ratings.
I know. It was. I think this one was like a 165 because it's always that third hour, man. People go off the bed.
1.67.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was close to 1.7. So I'm excited. This show got me excited. This is exactly why I watch wrestling. Did you not feel that, though? Did this not feel like a very Southern angle to you? Like a very 70s, 80s Southern angle?
It was phenomenal. It really was. It was something that you never saw at Raw in the Vince McMahon era. And I hate to say that name, but you never saw that in the Vince McMahon era.
No.
Not even in the Attitude era, something like this. Something this vicious.
No.
I mean, you saw Terry Funk and Cactus Jack dumped in a dumpster by the New Age Outlaws.
And a stump, which I hated that.
You saw Mick Foley jump off the Hell in a Cell into the announce tape. But that was just a something he planned that day to do. This was the number one babyface in the company. The John Cena of 2024, if you will. Getting the shit kicked out of him by a returning legend. He's not in the Hall of Fame, although he should be. He doesn't want to be yet. But he is the uber legend, The Rock. On the mic, maybe not in the ring. We'll have to see if he's got the goods in that first night, that Saturday night in the main event. And the rumor has it, well, I will say, we talked about this, there's 3 legends coming back.
Allegedly.
For WrestleMania. Allegedly. The Undertaker, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and John Cena. John Cena will not be in a performing mode. He will not be wrestling anybody. He will strictly do a promo, say something on camera, whatever, because he's filming a movie or a TV show or some shit right now. But the Undertaker's, the Undertaker's not going to do anything. Maybe a chop, maybe the goozle around the neck, a choke slam. He could do that.
There's a fourth one if you didn't know. That's being rumored
Who's
right
that?
now. Hogan.
Who's that?
Hogan.
Hogan? Ooh.
Hogan's being rumored. Because it's 40 years of Hulkamania is this year. That's why they're saying they might bring him back for the show.
I could see that.
Dig it, brother!
Great shirt. I could see him doing the festivities, hosting the festivities for the entire weekend.
Let me say
the meet and greets and all that stuff. Huh?
Please like and subscribe. Thank you all for watching tonight. We really appreciate it. Thank you all so much. It means everything to us.
You guys got us to 505. You got us to 505 subscribers. We're shooting for 550 by this time next week.
That's the next goal.
Well, if we can. It's a lot to ask. We're shooting for 550. When you guys like us, that means we're thrown around YouTube via the algorithm into everybody's search bars, everybody's recommended feeds and all that, and people will, click on the video. If they like it, they'll subscribe.
So that was Raw. And there was one other piece of business that we got to talk about today, Johnny.
Before we get into that, I'd just like to say, how can one company be so ascending so high and the other one is going down the dumper with the talent they have? Don, explain this to me. Just a minute. We'll do a minute on this, okay. Don. We'll do a minute.
Well, no, this ties into what I was going to go to next. I don't think you even know what I was going to talk about.
I have no idea what you're going to talk about. When we go on the air, I have no idea what Don's going to say. I introduce the show. I work the intros and the outros and all that bullshit. And I put the shit on the screen for people to see. But I have no idea what we do not talk about. We talk about where the show's going to go. But we don't talk about where it's going to
start.
We don't go to a granular level, and what are you going to say for this? What are you going to say for that? I have no idea what he's going to say. And I like it this way, so I can react to Don the way a fan would react.
Well, you definitely wanted to talk. You wanted to talk about this. I'm going to talk about it. Eric Bischoff came out and said his show about the business side of wrestling, he's going to have to take it away. And he's going to get rid of it because he's just got too much going on right now. He's got another show that he does, and it's just not working out, and he's going to go ahead and leave this show, and he appreciates everybody for watching, and you know, he appreciates their fandom.
It's not 83 weeks. It's not 83 weeks. It's other what he does with John Alba.
Business, whatever. Yeah.
Strictly business.
Strictly business. Sorry, I don't remember the name of the show. Hold on, I'm looking at my beefcake notes. Okay, making sure.
Beefcake notes.
Go ahead and read Tony Khan's. Go ahead and read Tony Khan's response to that simple tweet. To the simple tweet.
Essentially, what they said was, John Alba, who's the co-host with Bischoff of Strictly Business, said, "We're going to discontinue the show. We bid farewell to it. I appreciate the effort. I appreciate the opportunity I had. Blah blah blah." Tony Khan writes back, "Sunsetting this fraud of a business podcast before the next AEW media deal is a wise choice." Like he's freaking Dr. Evil from Inspector Gadget.
And then Missy Beefcake came out and slapped him with her jugs.
Smothered him in her
intoxicating.
Her leathery, intoxicating jug.
Well, I can't wait to talk about that tomorrow. Good God. Is the guy just permanently out of his mind? Like, there's no way he's not trolling everything he can find about everybody that's ever said something bad about him, man. It's unbelievable. This guy can't let anything go. And you ask me why one show is dying and the other show is succeeding. It's because that guy, the money mark, is doing all the booking and doesn't understand what fans want. Fans don't want to go into this, I got to do research to figure this shit out moment. I want to unplug from the world when I watch a sporting event, a wrestling event, a movie. That's it. I want to be out, man.
Look, this little putz is a wrestling fan above all. He's a wrestling fan. He's been one for years and years, for decades. And he would book his own e-feds. Like fantasy football, they had fantasy federations in the early part of the year 2000. He would book all that shit. Right. And he had all the action figures. He did it all. And he was on all the message boards under different names. And the way he is right now, he thinks that he's putting out a product that the fans want to see because he wants to see it that way. But we don't want to see it that way. We need storylines. How do you get from point A to point B? That's what we want to see. We want to see somebody with some fire like Ospreay in promos, but not all the flippy-dippy shit where he doesn't sell anything. Sell something, God damn it. That's what they need to say. Sell something.
You know, it'd be great if somebody brought a sign that said that to a match. Sell something, God damn it.
That would be amazing. That would be amazing. To have our logo on it. That'd be cool. But anyway. Tony is a very, very sensitive man-child. He can't take criticism well.
He is a man-child. You just got me with that. I don't know why. He is a man-child. That's exactly what he is. He wants to hug all these guys. He wants to hug every one of them.
His testicles have not descended.
Oh, they have. They have.
They haven't.
They're just not what you think they are, pal. He's got a different kind of testicle. Dave Chappelle's got a joke about it. I'll send it to you later.
All right.
Nothing about his booking appeals to me. I have been watching this AEW show since day one. I gave up on wrestling for a long time. I'm now back into it. I am absolutely done with I've given up hope. that this show will ever be worth a shit. And somebody said in the chat, when do you ever see Paul Levesque come after somebody on a podcast for criticizing his show? When do you ever see any of the CEOs of WWE come after them for that shit?
Never.
Because it's a business. Why would you let an imaginary place like Twitter affect you like that? Why would you let the opinions of people affect you like that? You're a billionaire. Why do you give a shit what people think about your show? But look, the other part is, and I get that, like, you should care about what they say because it's kind of a catch-22 there. You need to care about the ratings and the fans. There's always going to be somebody that hates on your product. But right now, even your own fans that were there from day one are leaving in droves. You dropped
out the door
50,000 people this week. There was no baseball, which, by the way, baseball started today, so there's no excuse. There was no playoff last week. There was no nothing last week. There was no nothing this week. It's getting worse. It's not getting better.
In case you didn't notice,
oh dear God,
on Twitter, this is what the arena looked like last night for all those stars on the AEW show. And this is not the preliminaries. This is Will Ospreay coming out to start the show, as you can see by the Videotron, as they call it, up top. So it's the shits. It really is the shits.
Anyway, that's all I had to say today. I want to talk.
I think they have 4,000. What do they have? 4,000 people there.
Something like that, yeah. And a 16,000 seat arena. And a 16,000 seat arena, you can't get more than that. But we have a show tomorrow night, Bottles, that I'm pretty excited about. We're not sure what the main tagline is going to be, but I can tell you we are going to review the Dark Side of the Ring this week, which was Johnny Bottles' favorite side project.
I love this show. This Dark Side of the Ring, it was not a sad Dark Side of the Ring. It was a happy Dark Side of the Ring. When you see the individuals involved.
Oh, my God.
You ever see those fish that the algae eaters, I believe they're called, I don't know the technical term for them, those algae eaters that suck they suck the algae off the hard surfaces of your fish tank? There's two of those in this Dark Side of the Ring. They're fantastic.
I can't wait to talk about this show tomorrow, man. And yes, AEW is still going because a billionaire Mark is running it. Eventually, everybody loses money and they can't do it anymore. It's called a losing proposition. We're going to talk about that. We've got another area we want to talk about. We're going to talk about the British Bulldog, right? They did his A&E biography this week, which
yes, they did.
I knew the British Bulldog was a big superstar, right? I knew that. I didn't know how big he was. I love the British Bulldog. You're clearly a hater. Like, there's no need for the hate you put out sometimes, Johnny. There's just not. You're just a hateful man sometimes. Johnny Bottles told me this week I didn't like the British Bulldog, and I almost wrecked my goddamn truck. Just right in the ditch. Thank God for four-wheel drive.
I'm a Dynamite Kid guy, pal, even though they were both heinous individuals, and Dynamite was more heinous than Davey Boy. I was a Dynamite Kid guy because I never saw anybody doing those moves, especially a man that short in a professional wrestling ring before. The quick snap suplexes, the headbutt. I never saw anybody doing anything like that before. So I said, that's my guy, the Dynamite Kid. I like that guy. Until I found out that he was basically a subhuman piece of garbage.
He was the worst. Complete worst.
They used to roofie their wives.
No, we're not doing that.
When they came home.
We're not doing that.
No?
We're not doing that. Nope. That's rumor and innuendo and accusations. Accusations never proven.
It's not accusations. It was in Davey Boy's ex-wife's biography, where she talked about.
Then I'll tell you what. Hold on. If you want to quote that, get the books. We actually have the quote from it. Let's do that.
I'll have it for you tomorrow, pal.
Okay. Because I've got a quote from Bret Hart that I can't wait to talk about, because that guy, Mr. Honest Abe himself, that swears he never told a lie in the business, is a lying piece of shit. And
he said he made out. I know exactly what it is. He said he made out with Bill Goldberg before that match, where he got kicked in the head. They were exploring their sexual boundaries.
Why are you like this sometimes? Anyway, we're going to talk about that. We'll preview SmackDown. We got a lot of notes to get through. The MJF story has picked up some steam. I can't wait to talk about that. Thank you all for joining. Please like and subscribe. We appreciate the fandom. I can't wait to talk about this tomorrow. Bottles?
I got one more thing to say.
Oh, what is this? Oh my God, you gotta be shitting me! Dude! Are you kidding me?
She gave her the stink face, pal. She gave her the stink face. A lot of people don't realize that. Shayna Baszler, she doesn't like to cook. She likes, that's Shayna Baszler. She doesn't like to cook. She likes to eat out.
Yeah, shit.
Yes, sir. And her girlfriend, her live-in girlfriend, is Dakota Kai. Maybe a lot of people don't know that. But Dakota Kai and Shayna Baszler.
Not in the corner. She said in the corner. Oh,
Shayna and Dakota both love the cake. And the night before, Nia Jax got the stink face from Rhea Ripley, which is a famous GIF, whatever you want to call it, clip on Twitter. And that was the following night. Shayna wants some of that too.
Oh, God, I'm crying. I have not seen that. That's so good.
You haven't seen that?
Oh, that's so good. I had not seen that all week.
Pal, it's the greatest thing ever, pal.
Come here.
She said, come here, do it to me. I want some of that. I want to take a bite out of that sandwich.
Good God. Thanks again. Like and subscribe. Join us tomorrow. We got a lot to get through tomorrow. We didn't get through any of the news, and there's a lot.
We didn't touch any news at all.
No, we had a lot to get through.
There's a guy lined up backstage at WWE tonight at a house show waiting for a stink face from Rhea Ripley. You know who that guy is? Let me tell you something. He used to get stink faces from Lonnie Kai. And he said, I've had enough of this.
Until next week, Gordon Soley saying so long from the Sunshine State.